My name is Jerry Schulte, and I have restored this beautiful craft. It's a Tupolev, designed in the 1960s to pick up cosmonauts in Kazakhstan. In those days, Americans used destroyers to pick up their cosmonauts. They had 10 destroyers 50 miles apart. The Russians landed their cosmonauts in Siberia, near Kazakhstan, the big air base there. And they had 10 of these crafts 50 miles apart. They picked up the cosmonauts, left the equipment there, because in those days helicopters did not develop the leading edge wing to have it de-icing system on there. And because of that, they couldn't fly when the weather was very bad. So they picked up the equipment at nice days and picked up the cosmonauts with these crafts. The craft was designed by the Tupolev aircraft company. They got a grant from the Russian Air Force, and the grant was at that time for 198,000 rubles, which was equivalent of about $3 million. And they designed it, and they built one craft, and then they went into production, and they got some additional money afterwards. But the people designing this, they were highly qualified engineers. Tupolev is the biggest aircraft company in the world. They had about 16,000 engineers, and they're building bigger planes today than the 747, but mostly cargo planes. Anything big is a Tupolev. Anything what has to be a specialized plane, it's going to be a Tupolev, and they're flying to America too to pick up equipment here. I got these Tupolevs through a friend of mine. He produces Italian furniture in Moscow and St. Petersburg. And one of his managers, he is fascinated with these machines. He couldn't afford them, but whenever he finds one, he calls me, and I buy them and I restore them. Because I love these machines, I know them inside out. They're a real engineering marvel, they're nicely built. They're built out of a very highly qualified aluminum, which is called duraluminium, and it's very strong. The prop is actually the most sophisticated propeller in the world, because the Russians, they watch the Canada geese fly, and the Canada geese fly using the drafting effect of the first one flying, and through that they save energy. You save with this propeller about 35% energy. And not only do you save the energy, the propeller is 35% more quiet. And what the effect from that is, if you have an aircraft running, the aircraft, you hear the propeller all the time, you don't hear the engine. The propeller goes the speed of sound, makes a lot of noise, and that's what you hear. On this craft, you don't hear the propeller. You hear the engine. And that makes it very unique, because when I turn it on, you don't hear the propeller at all. If you ever listen to small aircraft, propeller aircraft, you hear only the propeller, not the engine. And because of that, it uses 35% less power. That is a 385 horsepower Wiedemeyer MP14 engine. And because of the propeller, it has equivalent of about 520 horsepower. So it really moves this small craft, which weighs only 2,200 pounds. And the heaviest from that is the engine. It moves it at a speed of 120 miles an hour above the water. Because if you look at this, you see that this boat is actually built like an aircraft. It's a flying wing. And the flying wing effect is on purpose designed to be off the debris field of Siberian lakes. So it flies a foot above the water, so it does not hit any kind of debris in the water. And they even have spoilers over here because the tail would come up. So the tail is down. And it's highly maneuverable. When I drive it at high speed, I feel very comfortable in it. It does not like waves. It likes only lakes like this. It's not made for the ocean. It's not made for salt water. It's made actually for lakes like this. It's made for going on snow, going on ice, going in swampy area. And it's designed to start all the way up to 80 below zero, because this has no electric start. It has a starting system which relies on compressed air. So with compressed air, you start this craft. I've been coming here for a couple of years, and 4 years ago I put it in the water at Mount Dora. And actually what happened is I put it in the water like this, I opened it up, and I made everybody wet, because all the water molecules, I have like a half a mile of water molecules behind me, and these water molecules went over the people, went over the cars, and there were a couple of unhappy customers. So I don't put it in the water anymore, because they would have to tow me all the way out and then start it all the way in the middle of the lake. I don't want to do that. Plus I don't want to clean it afterwards.
What kind of reception have you been getting from people who see the boat?
Well, I can say that with one word. I always get the wow effect. People love it because it's unique. It's different. It looks adventurous. It looks like a James Bond movie. It looks like a craft what could go down the Amazonas looking for the lost Grail.